Hey folks, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy and today I'm going to be answering the questions, can you make up for bad grades in your college applications? But before I get started, go ahead and like this video if you appreciate the content and subscribe to my channel. I release new videos every week about college admissions. Subscribe so you don't miss out and I would really appreciate it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button before I get started. All right, I said today I'm going to be talking about can bad grades kind of be made up for in college applications? Like, are you basically doomed if you're if you have bad grades and you're applying to college? I'd say the answer is no. And I'm going to tell you some of the ways I think you can make up for bad grades so that you still get into the college that you want to. The first thing is gonna be you gotta study like crazy for the ACT or SAT. And what I mean, if you're a good test taker, then maybe you don't have to study so hard, or if you do a lot of test prep, that's fine. But in order to make up for bad grades in the academic realm when it comes to your academic factors, if you have a year of bad grades, 2 years, just like a low GPA, 3.0, then you really got to make up for it with respect to your test grades. Because when we assess academic indicators, it's your GPA, your course rigor, and then your test scores, basically. So if you want to make up for bad grades in a college application, the first thing I recommend you doing is get a really good score on your ACT, SAT, and the only way to do that is to study super hard, prep, make sure that when you go in on test day, you know you're going to get a good score. If you don't get a good score the first time, retake that test, because you can't really make up for bad grades, or you can't really change grades that you've had in 9th and 10th and 11th grade, but you can retake a SAT, you can retake the ACT. So that's really my first big suggestion, is to do really well on the ACT or SAT, and that'll help you make up for any bad grades when it comes to college applications. The second thing I recommend is if you do have bad grades, you gotta explain those grades in your college application. And I recommend you do that in the additional information section. So whether that's a year of bad grades, an overall low GPA, you gotta explain that, or admissions officers have no choice but to assume the worst. What I mean by that is if you happen to be out of school for a month because you moved across the country, or you had an illness that kept you out for a month and it really affected your grades, you need to be able to explain that in the additional information section. You know, hey, I was out, I moved, my grades suffered, but I made up for it, and I went to extra office hours, I went to tutoring, and look, now I'm an actual math tutor. So, you know, there was a change in my life, a tragedy, something that happened, and that's the reason for the bad grades. Whatever the reason is, you gotta explain it again, or admissions officers will assume the worst. I would say number 3, how to make up for bad grades or low GPA when it comes to college applications, is to really devote yourself and excel at a few extracurricular activities. Now, if you have a low GPA, bad grades, I wouldn't recommend you join a lot of extracurricular activities, because that takes time away from studying and doing your homework and really excelling in those classes. So I would say just devote yourself to 2 or 3, 1 or 2. You know, spend your time doing that. Maybe you apply for a leadership position. You decide to be the event manager on a big fundraising project that your club has. You decide that you want to be in the voting for team captain. Those are ways to, again, make up for a low GPA or bad grades. If you're excelling at extracurricular activities, you're the president, you know, again, run a big event, go to nationals, compete at state, those are all indicators of a well-rounded student. So even if you have lower grades or a lower GPA, at least you're excelling at something in the EC. So I think that can also make up for it. The last thing I'll say, and this isn't for all students, so the recommendation is only for those who, you know, had bad grades because of a once-in-a-lifetime event, whether that's you moved or you had an illness. I would say try to make up for lower grades by upping your course rigor. If you have it available, take AP classes, take IB classes, go do the Running Start program. If you have dual credit options available at your school, go take those local community college classes. But again, that's only if you know you can do well in those classes, because I'd hate to see an applicant go and sign up for community college classes, dual credit or AP, and then also not do well in that classes, because that kind of defeats the purpose. So I'll go over that again. Number one is study hard as heck for the ACT and SAT and do well. Number two is devote yourself to one to three extracurricular activities and do well. Prove that you're a holistically well-rounded student. Actually, number two was explain the situation in your application. So if you got bad grades, whether it's due to a move, an illness, an injury, whatever it is, explain it. And then number three is keep forgetting, stick to and excel with a few extracurricular activities. And then number four, if possible, if it's not going to put a strain on your grades, go ahead and take those AP, IB, dual credit honors classes, because it'll definitely help you up your course rigor and make up for any less than savory, grades in your past. So that's what I got today. It is possible to make up for bad grades. It is possible to make up for a low GPA, but it really takes some dedication, hard work, studying, but it definitely is possible, and you can definitely still get into your dream college. That's what I have for today. Hopefully that was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.